This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
We're learning new details about a fight near Hazelwood East High School that left one student critically injured. Police now say more teens could face assault charges in connection with that fight. Thanks for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Police want 8 more teenagers to be charged with assault. Officers refer those teens to St. Louis County Family Court. Our Justina Cornell joins us live from the newsroom now with a new reaction from the NAACP. Justina, what are you learning?
Well, those 8 teenagers do not include the 15-year-old girl who was previously charged with assault. Now, her case is already being considered by the juvenile court system. This all stems from a fight earlier this month, which led 16-year-old Kaylee Gain to be hospitalized. Police say the teenagers, who ages range from 14 to 17 years old, were at the fight on March 8th near the intersection of Norgate and Claudine Drives. Right now, they're not in custody. Now, these new details come as Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is going back and forth with the Hazelwood School District. Now, it's been almost a week since he launched an investigation claiming diversity, equity, and inclusion programs led to the teen beating. Today, the president of the St. Louis County NAACP said Bailey's claims are not true, and he believes the AG is biased in using this for political reasons.
There is absolutely nothing that ties DI to a fight. It's just the worst segue into political nonsense that he could have come up with. So to play these divisive cards for political purposes, it's very tragic, it's irresponsible.
Lots of back and forth in this high-profile case. Justina, what is next here?
Brent, there will be a status hearing on Monday for the 15-year-old girl who has already been charged with assault in juvenile court. Of course, we'll be there to report the very latest.
Justina Cornell reporting at 4. Thank you.
Tonight, dozens of women could be victims of invasion of privacy and don't even know it. St. Charles County prosecutors say Timothy Fry secretly recorded partially and fully nude women in restrooms and dressing rooms all across the area. Police wouldn't share the exact locations where these recordings happened because they say it could jeopardize the case, but we know at least some of the locations: a Target store, bars and restaurants, Veta Sports, public pools, even his place of employment, which is BJC Hospital. The hundreds of photos and videos date as far back as 2020. One of the victims was as young as 15 years old. Fry posted bond just yesterday. Coming up on 5 on Your Side at 5 and 6, we sit down with a St. Charles County police captain to find out more about this case.
A former Jefferson County deputy now has a trial date for a crash that resulted in his wife's death. Colby McCreary was driving on I-55 last April when he went off the road and crashed. His wife, Savannah, died. He's charged with a misdemeanor for driving while intoxicated. Prosecutors said they couldn't charge him with his wife's death because they can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. His jury trial is set for December. Today, St. Louis leaders heard from community members about future plans for the Old City Workhouse. A public safety committee meeting just wrapped up at City Hall. There's a proposal to turn North St. Louis's old jail into a tiny housing complex. The jail closed in 2021 after inmates complained about inhumane conditions. No decision made today.
Missouri revoked cannabis licenses from 9 micro business owners. Those businesses are listed on your screen. While the Missouri Division of Cannabis Regulation verified the eligibility of the businesses, they found that some people listed as the majority owners of 8 micro businesses had little or no knowledge of the operations of those micro businesses. The 9th license was revoked because the owner had a disqualifying felony offense.
Well, if you've been outside, and I'm sure you have, finally, a taste of spring.
That's right. Meteorologist Gary Frank in for Scott Connell tonight, and I'm hoping that cooler weather's behind us. I could use some warmer weather. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, and we're going to warm up the next few days for sure. We can't shut the door on it because you know how this March and April go, but at least for the short term, we're going to start to warm things up here pretty quickly, and we feel that this afternoon. The sun is out. It's much better. We did start off cold this morning with frost in many spots as we were below freezing. However, we're going to at least get a break from that. You can see all those clear skies for most part. There are some clouds to the north, but I don't think they're really going to impact us too much, just like the ones last night didn't. Temperatures have warmed up and surged into the mid to upper 60s as a result. And you look at that cold air to the north. That's going to be the battle the next few days. We're going to be on the warm side of things, but it's when that cold air eventually works its way back down. Until then, We'll drop down to the mid to upper 50s this evening as our breeze switches to the southwest and gets much stronger. Now, the next few days, we are going to warm up very, very quickly, starting with tomorrow and heading into Easter weekend. There's lots of dry time with an extra E on this weekend, but I'll tell you what, severe threat returns on Monday, and that's what we'll focus on specifically. We're going to see lots of dry time this weekend. We'll focus on that here shortly and talk about what's expected before things change to the cold side again.
All right, Gary, we'll check in a bit. Investigators are focusing on why a massive cargo ship lost power and hit Baltimore's Key Bridge. Now transportation officials are trying to find a way to get cargo in and out of the port.
Baltimore's port employs about 8,000 people and handles more cars and farm equipment than any other port in the U.S. NBC's Alice Barr explains the economic impact of this disaster.
The impact that struck the heart of Baltimore.
The whole bridge just fell down.
Now rippling across the country as Americans grieve the 6 lives lost.
To all the families, we are so sorry for this tragedy.
And prepare for potentially wide-ranging effects on the economy, with the Port of Baltimore, one of the busiest in the country, shut down. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg set to meet today with shippers and other supply chain partners.
To understand their needs and to promote a coordinated approach as they adapt to the temporary disruptions while we plan mitigations.
Maryland lawmakers are working on emergency aid for the roughly 8,000 port workers whose livelihoods are locked down. Michael Clark's business receives and empties containers from the port, then ships the freight.
Right now we don't have any containers and we can't get any containers. So immediately our business has shut down.
The Port of Baltimore handles more cars and farm equipment than any other in the U.S. Vital cargo is now stuck inside the port, and ships looking to unload more can't get in. While experts don't anticipate the level of supply chain disruptions we saw during the COVID pandemic.
We're dealing with collateral impact on warehousing, on trucking, and on a very strained system here.
No word yet on how long it will take to clear the collapsed bridge structure from the 50-foot deep waters leading to the port's main terminal, where an economic engine sits idle. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.